and I'm appreciative for the opportunity, my brother. I'm appreciative that I could inspire in the smallest way. I could inspire you, man, and motivate you, man, just to be a person of color, to be a tan boy, to be a brown kid, to be a Latino, Hispanic, a Spanish, whatever they want to call us, but to be great, bro, in what we do. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to create Tanboys, why me and Ola created Tanboys, was because not only did we see the lack of Latino representation as far as rapping go, but we seen the lack of Latino representations in record labels, CEOs, A&Rs, directors. I didn't see none of that. You feel me? Now there's a lot more, and I take pride in that. I was one of the driving forces in that. People might not know that right now, but the real do, right? The real people who are into the culture, who understand the culture, they know Bodega Bamz. They know what Tanboys done. The way you just spoke right now, you represent the real people. The other people, they'll come along. They'll find out later. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where, you know, Vincent Van Gogh is regarded as one of the greatest artists of all generations. But while he was doing it, nobody gave two shits about him. And that's the sad part, right? And ultimately, you know what I'm saying, he ended up killing himself, and he had a very horrific time. But I use him as an example. Pablo Picasso was regarded as one of the greatest. Everybody always said Pablo Picasso was the greatest. You have somebody like Van Gogh who wasn't regarded in the same light, who afterwards, because of what he left behind, because of who he inspired, was able to be regarded now as one of the greatest artists of all time. So again, I say this to say that some people gonna believe right away, like yourself. Some people gonna catch on immediate, like yourself. And some people, it takes time. It takes time for them niggas to let go of their pride. It takes time for them niggas to let go of hating, and they end up coming along, and they're coming around too. So again, man, like, I'm happy to see more Latinos doing their thing. I'm happy to see more Latino rappers. I'm happy to see, again, me and Yams, we used to speak about this shit all the time, man. One of the last conversations I had with Yams, we bring up how you see so many different Latino names in rappers now. Like, you see the Migos, you see the Pablos, you see the young, all these Latino names they weren't even existing, bro, in 2011, 2012. They weren't even around in 2013, bro. And if they were coming up. Now you see so many different Latinos and Latinas who are carving their own name and getting it popping, when there was a point in time when there was nobody, and all I ever wanted to do was to be the proper representation. And, you know, whether, doesn't even matter how it starts, it matters how it's finished, right? So it's like a domino effect, bro. From one person, the next person falls, the next person falls. By the time you get to the 12th domino, you don't even know where the first one was at. But it all started with one. You feel me? And I take a lot of pride in being that representation. I take this shit seriously. I carved and I branded myself to be one of the best in the premier and to be elite. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to play around. Like, I take my curating, I take my influence, I take my motivation, I take my inspiration very, very seriously. And all I want to do is come across as that dude that somebody could look up to and be like, yo, I want to do the same thing. And that's all that really mattered to me in the end. Money is great. The fame is great. I'll be lying if I tell you I don't like neither one of them. I like them both. But the real goal and the real job and the real responsibility, my nigga, is to be an influence and to be a positive reinforcement to the younger generation, to my peers, to anybody who's looking on, man. And that's all I ever wanted to do, and that's what I'm being able to do, and I appreciate that, and I'm grateful that God gave me the responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that I can continue to showcase that, and I'm hoping that I can get more years of that, and I'm hoping I can get more opportunities. But if it stops tomorrow, bro, who would have thought? Who would have thought?